Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Wavy Tunnel Pro dashboard session for swing trade setups for the week of June 8th, 2026. We started this swing trade setup session last week, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to review the trades from last week, or actually the dashboard setups for last week, and I will show you how I took advantage of the setups that we came up with in the watch list, which you all have available to you. First, it's very important to read the disclaimer. It is really important to practice with a demo or a paper trading account with any new concept or strategy until you really get to know and understand the risk and reward potential. This is the dashboard scanner. We're going to look at that in a moment. And if you do not have access to the dashboard scanner yet, if you like what you see after today, you can always get it. And this is the QR code, and the website is wavytunnelpro.com/dashboard. And there is actually a walkthrough video on that page. So our tagline for the dashboard is Scan, Spot, Strike, your precision engine for finding opportunities across stocks, ETFs, futures, forex, and crypto. The weekly return, the weekly routine. So for the first time, create your dynamic breakout 4 watch list and email yourself the alerts, and you select the scan criteria. We are going to be working with the breakout 4 watch list, and that's what we're going to be doing. So weekly, you can check the updated breakout 4 watch list, which is what I did yesterday, and I'm going to show you my results, and I've already put certain charts on the watch list for you, and you already have access to that. I did the daily and the weekly scan, but we will go through that. And what I did yesterday was I checked the symbols one at a time, and I narrowed it down to a hot list, which was made available to you. And then the next thing to do is to write notes on the symbols that show potential. So I'm actually going to show you the notes that I wrote from last week, and then create the trade plan for a handful of symbols. And there are different ways that you can express. You can buy the stock, you can buy the call, you can sell the put, you can buy the vertical, a call debit spread, or a put credit spread, and then you execute the trade. So I did that actually. I bought the stock on a few, and I bought a call debit spread on a few. So I'm going to show you that. This is from last week. Let's just review what the dashboard is based on. It's based on the market map. This is the market map, the 8-wave market cycle. Warren Buffett says, be fearful when others are greedy, be greedy when others are fearful. So that's the contrarian view. The breakout 4 trade takes us down here to the fearful, panicked, and discouraged, and let's bail area of the 8-wave market cycle. And this is what we're focusing on, the end of wave C, the end of this correction after a nice trend move higher. So this is where the breakout 4 trade lives. And looking at the wavy tunnel to the left, you can see the 8-wave market cycle, and this the end of the wave C, where the breakout 4 trade lives after an ABC correction, is right here where we see the gray diamond. And this is what the scan finds. It finds the gray diamond for this breakout 4 trade right below the tunnel. This is the wave, this is the tunnel. The green line is the 12 EMA, that's called the filter line. And this is what we're looking for, a beautiful ABC correction from the market peak. And if we look left, we see that it falls in nicely with the price action, the consolidation over here. It falls in nicely. Now, let's just go through the different ways, the 5 ways to take a bullish position on a breakout 4 setup, and then we're going to get right to it. You can buy the stock, and the capital required is high. Well, the risk, you know what the risk is, buying the stock. So that's why you want to keep a stop loss in. You want to monitor it. And the reward is unlimited, of course. You can buy the call. Okay. And when you're buying a call, you're paying the premium, like you're paying the premium. So a bull call spread reduces that premium. because you're buying a call and then you're selling a call above it. You're limiting your profit, but you're also reducing the price of just an outright call. So I have bought the stock on a few and bought a bull call spread on a few, which I will show you. Why don't we go to the dashboard now? And this was the weekly swing trades from last week. So you have this in your dashboard because I've shared it with you. And I just want to show you the 5 trades that I took have notes in them. Okay, so we narrowed it down to 19 stocks, but I'm just going to show you individually. I'm going to go to the note on AEE. And where is the chart? That's interesting. The chart is missing. Whoa. Okay. So on AEE, I bought 100. This was on June 2nd last week. I bought 100 shares at 106.85. Okay, I'm not sure why the chart isn't showing up, but we can look at the chart over here. Now, excuse me. Okay, this is an end of day. So this isn't the current market, by the way. Yeah, I could show you the trading view, but I bought the shares over here at 106.88, 100 shares, okay? And think as a breakout 4 trade. So that was one trade that I took. If I now show you, let me put up the AEE. We are giving back some. And I didn't set a profit target for this. So let's just see. It's interesting. When the market sold off on Friday on the AI stocks and so the technologies, many of the technology stocks, the stocks that the scanner showed were in different sectors. So this AEE was utilities and okay, CB financial services, GM consumer cyclical, energy, and then XEL utilities. So these stocks actually, the basket of the 5 that I bought actually did well on Friday when the market was tanking. It was very, very interesting. So let me just show you the trading view. I'll just keep it here because I'm not going to put the live markets on here. I could put the live markets down below, but I'm just going to do it this way. So here's the daily, right? So Friday's close is here. So we are giving back some ground here. That was the first trade that I took. The second trade that I took based on this watch list. So I showed you the routine. Once you get the watch list, you have to go through each one individually and decide what you're going to do. The next one was Chubb Limited. And for this one, I bought a June 18th, 310 to 320 call debit spread. Okay, that's what I did here. Okay, a call debit spread. So what that means is that if the price closes above 320, then on June 18th, then I capture all of the premium that I earn. You earn premium, you pay, yeah, that I make. Okay, I capture the upside. Okay, actually, with a call debit spread, you're buying the 310. So the call, you're buying a 310 call, and you're paying a premium for that. And you're selling the 320 call against it, so you're reducing the overall premium. That's how it works. And I pretty well did like a little in the money. So 310 to 320. I did it when the price was about 313, I would imagine. Okay. And if we look to see where it is now, Chubb CB, let's put CB, Chubb Limited. Okay, it's also giving back some money. Okay, it's also giving back some money. It it is giving back today what we made, and that's understandable because Nasdaq and the S&P are moving up. So the all of these trades moved almost contrarian to the higher risk, the high beta stocks. Maybe we should just pause here and let's just have a look at the ES and the NASDAQ just so you can see what I'm talking about. So here is, okay, we have the weekly on the right. Let's focus on the daily on the left. Maybe I'll just open up the daily. Let's just, no, I'll just leave it like this. Just have a look at the left. So look what we're doing. This is the S&P. We had a very solid red candle right into the wave on the daily. And this is when the basket of 5 stocks that I bought performed very well. Okay, and whereas the S&P sold off. This is the ES, it's the futures. Today we see green. So the ES is making up for some of the losses. Like it almost made up for half of the losses at the highest point on the candle. And the same for the NQ. I could show the SPY and the QQQ, it's the same. But look at this, NASDAQ has recovered quite a bit. Now, let's go back to the dashboard and let's look at GM. Is there a question? Is there echoing in the back? No, nobody else is complaining. Okay. I don't think there's echoing in the back. So I'm not sure why this chart isn't showing. I'll have to speak to Daniel about this. Very interesting that it's not showing up. I'll have to show Daniel. But with GM, I can tell you what I did. I'm looking at my my trades here. Just a second. Let me just move this out of the way so I can see them. Okay. With GM, I bought, I'll tell you what I have. I have $100,000 account and I'm taking these trades in a simulated account so that I can just keep them separate from my portfolio. I'm keeping them separate. So I've decided to do $10,000 worth of stock. So for GM, since the price is 82, I bought 120 shares. So that's roughly $10,000 worth of GM at 82.71. That's what I did. And if we look at GM, you can see that I bought 120 shares at 82.71. Now, the signal, the breakout force signal occurred over here, but when we did the breakout force scan, we had a look back of under 20 candles or under 15 candles. I can't remember. And I liked this pattern. I liked this flag pattern. So I bought it anyway. It wasn't close to this gray semaphore, this gray diamond, but I bought it anyway. And now it's currently trading at 84. Okay, so it's breaking out, soon to break out above these highs potentially. Let's have a look. We'll put up GM. Yeah, yeah. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to be very happy if we take out these price highs. I mean, I feel like it's imminent, but you never know. Okay, so that's GM. And then the next one was LNG. I don't know why I don't see these charts, and I didn't take any notes here either. So for LNG, let's just show you what I did there. I bought, I don't know why I did a 235 to 240 spread. I'm going to have to refine this and probably do something a little wider when the price is so high. Anyway, that's what I did there. And then the final one was XEL. And I bought a 75.80 bull call spread here. So that's what I did. And I will show you, I did one contract for these spreads. One contract for these spreads. Okay. I will show you. The simulated trading account quickly. And then we're going to look at, I already told you what I did, but this is part of the routine. Okay, so these are the 5 trades that I took out of the 19 that we had on the watch list. 2, I bought the shares, and then 3, I bought the debit spreads. Okay, so you can see today the P&L on the day is down $214. The open P&L is 550, so we've given back some, as to be expected, because these stocks are not your high beta stocks, and they tended to work well with the market sell-off on Friday. So that's very interesting. Okay. Now let's look at what we have in store for us for today. So what I've done was I did a scan for the Breakout 4 daily. And if I click on that, we get 41 trades. And then I did a scan on the weekly. And when I click on that, we get 67 trades. Okay. So what I did was I created 2 watch lists for this week. 6-8 swing trades, daily time frame, and 6-8 swing trades, weekly time frame. So let's look at the daily time frame trades. Now, I haven't taken any positions yet this week. I just did this work yesterday to come up with the watch list. And typically, I will take the trades either this afternoon or tomorrow morning. So let's look at the dailies. Okay, we have 26 here. 26 trades here, potential trades on the daily time frame. So what you would do in this case, or what we would do, is we would have a look, and I made sure to keep the trades that I already have positions in here as well. So what you would do is you would go down this watch list and see if there's anything that you like. Okay, and so why don't we do that? Why don't we do that? And these are all of the sectors. Okay, so we already know that the utility sectors will probably give back a little bit today, and the energy as well. So we already know that. All right. We already looked at AEE, and AEP is this one. But this is how the Breakout 4 trade comes about, where you see the gray diamond. All right. So this is, I'm going to now put the live market underneath so that we can see where the current live market is, so I don't have to go back and forth. So dual chart view, yes. Live chart below, yes. And I am going to get rid of this pane so that we can see more of the chart up above. So yeah, so this is the hourly chart. Let me just put up the daily so that we can see the, yeah, okay. So this shows us exactly what today's candle is. So you can see that we're giving back a little bit here. We're giving back a little bit. But I really do like this pattern because this is a beautiful uptrend and we have a nice swing move right below the tunnel. So that's a nice one. Let's look at the next one. The next one is ALSN. What I also like to look at, what I have up here, is if it's optionable and what the year-to-date percent return is. So I see that this consumer cyclical is a nice year-to-date. On Friday, the one-day percent return, it was down 2.22%. So a little less than the NASDAQ, for example. Okay, so you can see that AEE and AEP were up yesterday because they were utilities, and all of the utilities did well. So let's just click on ALSN and see what we have here. Well, look at this. Okay, no surprise that because it's a consumer cyclical that we have a green candle on this daily. Okay, we have a green candle. So there's a, wait, let me just make sure that this is the hourly. Okay, so I need to put the daily up again. Why isn't it staying? Okay, we have a green candle on the daily, a small green. All right, yeah, why isn't it staying? Okay. So this is a very nice pattern, beautiful. We have the purple diamond at the top. We have the gray diamond. This is our breakout 4 trade. I may do something with this. I like this pattern. Okay, I like when the wave is above the tunnel. I like when it's not pointing down below the tunnel. I like when the daily and the weekly trend are both up. In fact, I sorted it that way. Oh, no, I didn't. Okay. Yeah, I like when both are up. Okay. The way we scan for this is for the daily trend. I said, okay, show me all the stocks where the trend is either up or neutral, up or neutral. And neutral is the yellow arrow to the right. Neutral means that the wave is in the tunnel, but it's not below the tunnel. So it's still okay. All right, let's look at the next one, energy. So energy was, this stock was down on Friday. Remember, this is the end of the day, so this won't update until tonight. This is Friday's one-day percent return, but look at the year-to-date return, 31.54%. This keeps on reverting back to the hourly. Okay, so on the daily chart, yes, we're up a little bit today. No surprise. We were down on Friday. We're up today. And I really like this pattern as well. So this is a nice one to maybe take advantage of for this week. Let's look at this industrial BWXT. This is up 6.54% for the year. And it looks like we are, this is the hourly, so we could be up a little bit on the day. This one, I would want to watch this for a while because we have a sideways move down here. I would prefer that price trades above the filter. I want to make sure that a bottom is in place. Okay, and the wave is in the tunnel here. So about to be in the tunnel here. So I would hold off with that one. CBB, we already talked about. And look at how nicely off the bottom this is. Okay, so we are long that one. Let's look at CBOE. Yeah, I would hold off on this one. This was a dramatic drop. It looks like we could potentially move lower here. DCEP. Okay, this is off the lows, so this is trading higher today. This isn't bad. The wave is in the tunnel, but I like the price action here. So this would be okay. This would be okay to take a look at in terms of taking a trade. The next one is Duke Energy. So the yellow daily trend is sideways, meaning the wave is in the tunnel. Right, the wave is in the tunnel. Yeah, it's not such a strong uptrend. Okay, maybe I can just open this up to see. Oh, not bad. So we traded higher and then we had a deep sell-off, and now we've had a retracement after reaching a price high. Not bad. I might want to wait a few days to see what kind of price action we have if we have a pullback. This is another utility. This was up 2% on Friday, year to date 6.65%. The pattern looks nice. We've sold off today as expected, right? GILD, I would hold off on this. There's just too much sideways price action here. Just seems to me that we could make a new low here. GM we spoke about. Okay, GM is performing well. I think it still looks good. So we have shares in that. GlaxoSmithKline. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. Not bad. This could be interesting. It's a nice solid uptrend, and then we had a beautiful three-wave correction. This could be interesting. Hasbro, let's see Hasbro. Okay. Yeah, I would like to see Hasbro moving higher on the daily and closing above the filter before committing to that one. KMT, it's an industrial. It's up 14% for the year. We had it was a beautiful, strong uptrend. This could be okay. This might not be bad. Okay, I would take a look at this one. LNG we talked about. It's up 22.81%. We have a position in this one. So we have to keep an eye on this one. Okay. NEE is another utility. Again, with this one, I would like to see us moving above the filter. I think I need to put the breakout fours here so you can see them. I just realized that we can't see the breakout fours. I'm just talking about them and I'm not actually showing them. So let's just do that. I was showing the filter gap trades. Okay, there. Yeah. So when we have the diamond next to the number, it means that we haven't crossed above the filter yet. When we have the arrow next to the number, it means that we have crossed above the filter. So this one, we haven't crossed above the filter yet, and we're 5 candles from showing the signal. So I would hold off. I want to see us crossing above the filter. Basic Materials, NTR. This is a new one, hot off the press. Hot off the press. I want to see us closing above the filter. But this could be very interesting because this is a nice solid uptrend leading up to this correction. And this is a real estate market, Realty Income Corp. So we've come off today. We traded higher on Friday. Year-to-date return 8%. We still haven't closed above the filter. Here's another real estate one. This is kind of, yeah, I think I would hold off with this one for sure. And then we just have a few more. Tex is an industrial. Yeah, this isn't looking bad. I would consider this. This one is hot off the press, so I want to see us closing above the filter, but I suspect that we will today, given this rise off of the lows today. So we will most likely close above the filter. So this could be an interesting one to take advantage of. Yep, this looks like an interesting one. Here's another real estate company. We've given back some of Friday's gains. You can see that with these red candles here. Yeah. I'm not so keen on the real estate right now. WEC. It's also a utility, giving back some of the gains. It looks too sideways for me. Not enough potential. XEL, we already have a position in this anyway. So we took advantage of this because, yes, it was sideways, but we had traded down to the lower end of the range. And it looked to me that it could be a stable move higher, potentially. Okay. And then there's Yum Brands. Okay. Yum Brands, for the year, it's flat. And so, yeah, I would hold off with this one. So I just want to show you something else that I did. I created a watch list of the spider sectors. So my watch list is here, spider ETFs. So these are all of the spider ETFs. And just as we discussed, the SPY was down 2.58% on Friday. And we did point out that some of the others were up, right? So XLP is consumer staples. That was up on Friday. So not all of these sectors were down. We said that the real estate was up on Friday. Okay. We said that utilities was up on Friday, and you can see that on the 1-day percent return. So this is a good thing to do with your watch list, to set up the sector spiders so that you can see how they are doing. Okay. And of course, this is only end of day, but this is interesting. I do look at these sectors all the time, and these are the year-to-date returns. Okay, year-to-date returns. Right, so you can see XLE is one of the strongest returns. That's the energy sector. And XLK, okay, that's technology. So that gave back a lot. It gave back 6.6%. That was leading the way, and now it's given back a lot. Okay, so have a look at that. And the last thing that I did was, maybe I could share that with you. Let me just see if I can share that with you. I can. I'm going to share that one with you. Okay, the spider ETFs. Okay, I just shared it with you. The other thing that I did was I looked at the weekly time frame. We're not going to go through all of these, but I came up with 12 charts on the weekly time frame. So these are the weekly charts on top. I'll just show you a few of these. It's the same exact pattern, but this is showing up on the weekly. And over here, breakout 4 weekly, you can see that. So the up arrow, again, just to review, means that we have already crossed above the filter. So let's look at this communication services one to see what that means. Okay, so this signal came out over here, and here we are. I mean, we've traded, yeah, quite a bit higher. This is a low price stock. This is Cinemark Holdings. So that happened 19 candles ago that we saw this this gray diamond. And if we look at some of these technology stocks, look at these. Year-to-date returns negative. So I would probably stay away from these, but I did put them on the watch list. Why did I put that? Well, because maybe, I don't know, maybe they have a chance to stabilize, okay, because they've come down quite a lot. But I don't know that I would be so keen to jump in on them. This would definitely be a contrarian view, and there would have to be a reason to go into them, because maybe there is a reason why the year-to-date percent is down so much. All right. Are there any questions? Any questions? So what I'm going to do is I am going to have a look at all of these stocks on the watch list, which I've shared with you, and I'm going to make a decision. Do I want to add any other positions to the portfolio of 5 stocks that we took from last week? Last week was the first week that I started to do this. So that's my decision to see if I want to take anything. And then, of course, I will share them with you next week. Hopefully, over time, I'll be able to do it in advance of today's session, or we'll figure something out. But so far, this is what we're doing. So thank you very much, everybody, for being here. And I will stick around if there are any questions.